apocalypse.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you again, and welcome back to the show. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to find everybody safe, healthy, and in good spirits as usual. And if you haven't already, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon so you know the next time I come out with a video. All right, so we got a situation here. Well, not a situation, but I got a story to tell you. I got a friend, and his name is Robert. And it seems every time a Queen song comes on, Freddie Mercury, he's like, "Hey, Larry, you know that's not his real name? You know where he came from?" I'm like, "No." Well, let me rephrase that. The first time I didn't know, but the second, third, and fourth time he told me, I know already because he already told me. But this guy's like really into Queen. He likes it. He knows about Freddie Mercury. And as we're talking about it, he's saying, "Yeah, it might be a good idea to talk about it on your show," because he watches the show. So I'm saying, "Robert, yeah, it might be a good idea." So the more I'm thinking about it, what Robert was telling me about Freddie Mercury was pretty interesting. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are Queen fans, Freddie Mercury fans, that know all about him, know his story, know about the movie, this and that. But there's other people like myself who just love his music, love the way he sings, love Queen's songs. But I didn't really know the real story behind Freddie Mercury, what his real name was, where he came from, this and that. So, Robert, is good thinking. Definitely going to do something today about it because I looked into it. I actually brought up an article about it. This is a little background on him. I'm going to bring it up and share it with you. And the reason I usually like to just talk about it, but I want to bring it up and share it and screen with you because sometimes maybe I don't pronounce a word right, I don't say things right, and I want you to actually see it, because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm not like an English teacher or, I'm not a speech therapist. So a lot of times I say things might not sound like the right thing, or you might misinterpret it. So, that's why my kids have to interpret to their kids what I'm actually saying, because sometimes I say things wrong. What are you going to do, right? These things happen. So I'm going to share the story right now about Freddie Mercury, what his real name was, where he came from. And it's pretty interesting if you really don't know. If you don't know like where he came from or what his real name was quite interesting. So I'm going to bring up the article. Let's read through it together. Again, this way, if anything, you don't understand something, pause it, take a look. Because like I said, sometimes I don't say things right, but what are you going to do? Forget about it. All right, here we go. Yeah, we don't want that there. All right. Here it is, Freddie Mercury, born 1946 and passed away in 1991. Freddie Mercury is best known as one of the rock world's most versatile and engaging performers, and for his mock operatic masterpiece, Bohemian Rhapsody, great song. Who was Freddie Mercury? Freddie Mercury was a singer-songwriter and musician whose music reached the top of US and British charts in the 1970s and 80s. As the frontman of Queen, Mercury was one of the most talented and innovative singers of the rock era. Born, now this is his real name now, born Farrokh, like I said, I don't know, take a look at it, born Farrokh Bulsara in Tanzania. Mercury studied piano in boarding school in India, then befriended numerous musicians at London's Ealing College of Art. Mercury died of age-related bronchial pneumonia on November 24, 1991, at age 45. Early life. Mercury was born Farrokh Bulsara on September 5, 1946 in Zanzibar. Mercury's parents, Bhumi and Jaya Bulsara, were Parsis, or followers of the Zoroastrian religion, whose ancestors came from Persia. After Bhumi and Jaya married, they moved to Zanzibar, Tanzania, where Bhumi worked as a cashier for the British government's High Court. The family lived a fairly affluent life with a nanny and other domestic workers. Mercury's sister, Kashmira, was born in 1952. Now, I think you understand why I told you I'm going to read along, which I really don't like to do this, but at least you can see some of the words. All right. At age of 8, Mercury's parents sent him to boarding school in Bombay, now Mumbai, India, where he studied piano and spent his free time with his aunt and grandparents. It was not long before the charismatic young man joined his first band, the Hectics. In 1963, Mercury returned to Zanzibar. Following a bloody revolution on the islands in 1964, the family fled to London. Mercury attended the Ealing College of Art and befriended a number of musicians. In 1969, Mercury joined a group called Ibex as their lead singer. He played with a few other bands before joining forces with his future Queen bandmates. Teeth and vocal range. Mercury was born with 4 extra teeth in the back of his mouth, causing his now famous buck-toothed grin. In fact, his nickname growing up was Bucky. Mercury never got his teeth fixed because he was afraid it would ruin his impressive 4-octave vocal range. Queen. Mercury met his future bandmate drummer Roger Tyler and guitarist Brian May around the time he moved to London in the 1960s. They met up with bassist John Deacon in 1971. The quartet, which Mercury dubbed Queen, played their first gig together that June. In 1973, Queen released the first album titled Queen. They quickly followed up with their second album, Queen 2. In 1974, which they recorded in over just 1 month, the album was the first taste of the group's signature harmonies and music styles, including ballads, folk blues, metal, pop, and rock. It included the single 7 Seas of Rye. Queen's music, however, really only caught on with the third record, Sheer Heart Attack, also released in 74. With a sound that has been described as a fusion or hard rock and glam rock, Queen had an even bigger hit the following year with their 4th album, A Night at the Opera, 1975. Queen's popularity continued to soar through the late 70s and early 80s with A Day at the Races, News of the World, and The Game. After the works in 1984, the group's ability to sell albums began to wane, although Queen continued to draw huge crowds as a live act around the world. In addition to his talents as a singer and songwriter, Mercury was a skilled showman. He knew how to entertain audiences and how to connect with them. He liked to wear costumes, often featuring skin-tight spandex, and strutted around the stage encouraging fans to join the fun. Artistic in nature, Mercury was also actively involved in designing art for many of the group's albums. Mercury also lived a lavish lifestyle. He loved champagne and liked to collect art, once spending more than $400,000 on a set of hand-painted china. Always one for a party, Mercury drew himself in elaborate celebrations. For one particular birthday, he flew a group of friends to the island Ibiza, whatever. The occasion was marked by fireworks and flamingo dances. By 1989, Mercury largely retreated from public life. He did not promote or tour for Queen's next album, Innuendo, and rumors about possible health problems began to circulate. Before his death, Mercury worked in the studio with Queen. These efforts were released in 1995 on Made in Heaven, the group's last album, with the original members gone but clearly not forgotten. This collection of Mercury's final performance reached the top of the British charts. Mercury and Queen were recognized for their contributions of American music history when they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. There he is right there. Queen's third album, Sheer Heart Attack, featured their first hit, Killer Queen, a song about a high-class call girl. The 1974 single hit number 2 on the UK charts and peaked at number 12 in the US. Unlike most of the other music, Mercury wrote the lyrics before the music. Bohemian Rhapsody. Mercury wrote this song, Bohemian Rhapsody, a 7-minute rock operetta for the 1975 album, A Night at the Opera. Overdubbing his voice, Mercury showed off his 4-octave voice range on this innovative track. The song hit the top of the charts in Britain and became a top 10 hit in the United States. In 1978 hit, We Are the Champions of the album, News of the World became a top 10 song in the United States and in Britain. It was featured on a single with We Will Rock You. Both songs have taken on a life of their own as popular anthems played at sporting events. Another one bites the dust. always exploring new and different sounds. Queen tried to hand at the big music trend of the time with the disco flavored Another One Bites the Dust from their 1980 album, The Game. Crazy Little Thing Called Love, also on The Game. Mercury and the rest of the band showed their range as performers with the rockabilly influenced 1980 hit Crazy Little Things Called Love, which Mercury penned. In 1981, Queen collaborated with David Bowie to create Under Pressure, a #1 hit in Britain. The song's distinctive bass line was later reportedly used by Vanilla Ice for his 1990 rap hit Ice Baby. I don't know if you guys ever realized that before, but I hear it every time. When this song plays by Queen and then you hear the Ice Baby Ice at the beginning, dun, 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 all that's definitely the same. It's the same beat. Although Queen's popularity began to wane in the mid-1980s, the group had a minor hit in 1984 with Radio Gaga. Pop musician Lady Gaga took the inspiration for her stage name from the song. And there's something else, a little trivia I never even knew there. Lady Gaga took the name from Radio Gaga, or one of Queen's songs. In addition to his work with Queen, Mercury released several solo albums, including 1985's Mr. Bad Guy. He also collaborated with opera singer Montserrat Cabello for 1988's Barcelona. Live Aid's performance. One of Queen's most notable performances was in 1985 at the Live Aid charity concert. Simply dressed in a tank top and jeans, Mercury led the crowd through some of the band's greatest hits with great energy and style. He got the thousands of music fans at London's Wembley Stadium to chant along to We Will Rock You. For many who watched the event live or on television, Queen gave one of the top performances of the day-long event, which was organized by singer and activist Bob Geldof and songwriter Midge Ure to raise money for victims of famine in Africa. Inspired by the event, the band wrote the hit One Vision. There he is, Freddie Mercury, 1946 to 1991. Born Faraka Bonsera in Zanzibar, Tanzania. Freddie Mercury became the lead singer of Queen. We just went through all that. All right, so basically that's like crazy stuff. I mean, yeah, he was born to Indian parents in Zanzibar, and his name was Fakara, whatever. It was just crazy. And you know, and I thank you, Robert, for bringing this up, bringing my attention, because there's a lot of stuff in there that I just really didn't know. I mean, I know I love the Queen songs. I know I love Freddie Mercury, one of the greatest singers around. And, you know, he passed away. But his songs and his music, man, keep playing on. So I thought that was like a really interesting background on him, you know. And yeah, if nobody didn't really notice that or knew about that, about his background, there's a little bit of background. If you want to look it up, definitely just type in Freddie Mercury and get his whole background and stuff like that, what's going on. And listen to his music, man. It's awesome. If you never heard it before, if you never heard Queen, play it. Play some Queen music, his greatest hits, Freddie Mercury. And that's it. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy it. And once again, Robert, thank you so much for the information. Hope everybody, again, gives a thumbs up, hits that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. And don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy. And until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.